Today, we are honored to share a very special interview with all of our viewers and listeners. In 2014, what Lucy thought was a persistent sinus infection turned out instead to be stage 3 squamous cell carcinoma. She started extensive treatment near her hometown in North Dakota, including radiation, chemotherapy, and surgeries. This changed her face forever. 2 near-death surgeries and 4 other surgeries later, she was left with a tracheostomy and feeding tube, taking away her ability to eat or drink. In 2015, Lucy and her husband Ralph transferred her care to Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. And to date, she has had over 30 surgeries. Today, Lucy will share a little of her story with us about her journey in healing.
We're so grateful we have this microphone so that we can collect us and not everything else. So, yeah, this is really laid back and control. So. All right, Elaine.
So my name is Elaine Party. I am part of the GratitudeSpace Tour that is happening here in Rochester, Minnesota. It is the inaugural launch of the GratitudeSpace Tour, and so we're very excited to be here. And we're at the St. John's Coffee House right now, and we're introducing Lucy and her story and her gratitude that she feels in her life right now. So I will start by maybe just asking you a quick question. I know you've had a lot go on in your journey with your health and your wellness and your beliefs of how things come together. But if you could think of one thing that you are grateful for right now at this moment, is there something that comes to mind?
Yes, my life. My breath of life is gifted for another day.
Beautiful. Yeah, that is just beautiful. And so you are here in Rochester right now, and what's happening while you're here?
What they're doing is they had to make sure they check my oral, my prosthodontist every 3 months. It's for life, because 2018 they said they can't do anything on me. I had to be on a feeding tube or a pureed food. I said no, give me a research. They give me so many information to do research, and then they know what they had to do with me, but they want it coming from me. That because I'm resilient, I won't give up, and they know I can do it. And I remember he mentioned something that it can be done, but I have to be patient, and I had to do my own research if this is what I want to do the rest of my life. And I did for 4 years until I hand him back, this is what we're going to do. And he said, I knew you were going to take that. You're going to choose this way what I wanted you to have. And the trachea got closed last October. And it's because I never give up. I believe that it's going to happen. When you are told that it's not going to happen because it's hard to reverse it, I said, yes, it can be done. And I did it. And I had opening in my mouth. I don't have a feeding tube. And I can enjoy life even though I use a toddler spoon. But I am back 99.9% in life because God gifted me. I woke up this morning. I look up. I always said, thank you for my gift of life for another day. I had a restful night. Every day I say it. It's like a ritual to have to do it. Like I do when I go to Mayo. Every day I talk to them, I hold hands. Today I give them a piece of rock, donate life. My granddaughter colored it, and it says donate life. I left it in between their statue because I steal flowers from behind them. I pick flowers, I put it in their little hand to gift them the flowers, because for me it's to be appreciative what they had given to me. Without their innovation, I won't have a face, because my face has been reconstructed for 30 times the last 8 years. When I met Miss Laura, my face was so dismangled whole and so many scars on my face. I couldn't hardly speak. And Mayo fixed it for me, but with patience. 8 years. 8 years, last May. 8 years. So if you don't have faith and struggle, and I don't do narcotics, I had God with me. And they know when they operate me in my table, it's always had a Bible and my essential oil. but without faith, I don't think I could be here. And he gifted me every day. I want to give up, he turned me down. He sure did, twice. He should not turn me down, but he wasn't ready. So ever since on my second resuscitation, I woke up, I see the light. The most beautiful, I am very obsessed with the bright lights between the orange, the yellow, the different colors. Like I'm on going downhill in the foothills with those beautiful Bermuda green grass, and there's water next to me, and I'm trying to walk to get to where he was at, but I never reached there. And what I see is the brightest light ever. And what stopped me is just beautiful flowers. I don't want to ruin them if I step on them.
I love that you have your voice back. Yes. And you can speak to us.
I never stop talking.
Oh, but the beautifulness of just that simple thing that we all take for granted is being able to share. And for many years, that wasn't what you were able to do. So we are grateful that you are here today to share that with us. So, yeah.
It's when I met Laura, I barely could speak. Yeah, and they really did well, and having to follow me around, that with a trachea around your neck and walking in, we did quite a bit, but I asked God why people would just come to me and ask me, how could you endure all the pain and you still had a smile? And I said, because I don't know what you're going through, a smile can lift you up. A simple smile to somebody, you don't know what they're going through that day when they woke up. And when I smile, I just said, hello, how are you? And it is really worth it, because there is a day when a person would just like you try to make them smile and they don't smile. I said, we're better. I said, other people did not wake up, but we are. We are very privileged to be alive. And it changed their perspective. They start smiling and talking to you. I mean, the last couple of years, what we're going through was the hardest, but I never stop. I don't wear the mask. So say that. I don't wear it when doing pandemic, only when I'm at the clinic, because no one can see you smile. And even though I don't have teeth, they always say, Lucy, what happened to your teeth? I said, it's in there, but it's a pin until they put it together. And I didn't have my teeth until 2019. So in the pandemic, I smile at them. They said, you had your teeth. I said, I know. And it really makes you humble, and the gift that it just handed to you. And I'm grateful for that. Very grateful, because when you're told that the things that you can't have, I said, no, let me research. We'll do it together. I will not give up. I said, because he didn't give up on me. He gave me life twice. I'm going to continue on, because he put me back on this earth with a purpose in life. I'm going to continue doing it.
I just love that, the smile is a universal language that everybody in the world can appreciate and know what that means. And to hear you mention that is just really, inspiring, that a smile can communicate so much. And it's a catalyst for gratitude, because kindness is a catalyst to gratitude. So do you have anything you want to ask her, or do you want to?
Thank you for sharing all that. It was absolutely beautiful. And I was just curious how, in your journey, who was the person that recommended the Mayo Clinic? Like who was the catalyst so your husband, okay. So can you give a little more to that? So were you were looking for options, and he's the one. Can you give a little more to that story, to say your husband?
When after, was it the third surgery, when you didn't see me for 26 hours, because he didn't see me for 26 hours. When I woke up in a room, I couldn't speak anymore, and he said, we should have gone to Mayo. And then so I grabbed a pen, because I couldn't speak. And I said, why didn't you tell me? And he said, because it's your choice. But after this, when we get done, he said, I want to be your voice. He did, because I could not speak. So I write what I want him. So he was my voice, and he said, I'm going to ask them. I don't care what you had to do. She wanted to get the treatment, but we need to go to Mayo. We want the referral. And he pushed that. My husband had to do that because he watched me for hours and hours. Just South Dakota alone in the surgical, I had 67.5 hours for 17 days. And we were done. And when Mayo made it us, he was with me, and all of them, 4 panel of surgeons. We were in a big room. They said, "This is a cakewalk for you. All we want is your patience." I said, "You've been through a ringer. This is nothing for you." And I truly believe when he said that to me, Dr. Yetzer, I said, "Here we are. Take me as your patient. I will be patient, and I trust you." And that's all it started.
You said Dr.
Dr. Yetzer.
Yetzer, okay. Wow. So
And we had Dr. Yetzer, Dr. Arce, and we had my genius surgeon, Dr. Samir Mardini. He put this face together. And then my amazing prosthodontist. He is amazing. I mean, I had so much of them that they never give up on me since the beginning. And I'm grateful for that. And every time Dr. Salinas would always say, "I would never give up on you." That's why I told you. And when I met him, he said, "We can make you beautiful to have that set of teeth." And he did. He worked on me when the very first time we had the pen for 4 days doing prosthesis. It's not the simple one. I mean, I had all the picture. He started from the really raw mold. He had very limited opening. He never given up. 4 days, 22 hours, and it went down the drain. The pin gave away from my bone. And he looked at me and said, "It happens, we're gonna redo it." And he did. And when he made me beautiful, I kept smiling, never stopped. Mayo gave me hope. When they took my case on, they said they cannot guarantee how long would it take. They just want my patience, and I just shake their hands. And without my husband, I don't think I could make it there. And we take away from the all the pharmaceuticals. I mean, so you can focus, and you just had to have your faith that God will be there. They let me do my praying, close my eyes. You pray and meditate, and then I put my thumbs up. They put me to sleep. Nice. Yeah. God is always on my side, and then I always tell him he turned me down twice.
Well, that's so beautiful, and I appreciate you sharing your gratitude with us, and you sharing your smile, and sharing why you smile, and you know, you just stating the doctors' names shows your appreciation for them, because they became part of your life, and you took them in your heart, and you trusted them with your life. And it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful story that people need to hear, and people need to see your smile and know that, like you said, you're here for a reason, and you're here to instill hope and make people show kindness and bring light. Yeah. And I can say you've done that for all of us today, so I really appreciate that for your time.
It's just really humbling, and I thank you for inviting me. It really is.
I just want to thank you because you mentioned several physicians that I know. And
Eric Moore is amazing when he said, "We can get this done." When Dr. Eric Moore, when we first met in 2015, and he said, "We can get it done." I said, "How? I don't have, this is sunk in face. There's a hole on my face. How are you going to rebuild this from behind the orbit of my eye?" And he said, "Leave it up to us." He is the most humbling human.
Yeah. And I have to ask, because I know you have a very passionate association with Hormel and their help to you during your recovery and the whole being patient time. So do you have anything to say about that?
See, they did not notice me until Laura did the red couch, and then one of their PR came to Hope Lodge for donation, and they bring this the Hormel shake drink. It was the Hormel that they were launching it, and they seen me who I was, because I was on a feeding tube, and And I just said, I drink this middle of the night when nobody see me, because that 1 16-ounce, it takes me 4 hours. And I sit there in the kitchen while I'm baking in a lot of pain, and that's how it started. And so they want to know who I was. And then next thing I know, they wanted to film my video. And it's like, really? Why? And then they really did broadcast it in 2018, and we won a big award. They even sent it to me with a card. They won my short story. I was like, really? From a little town of North Dakota? It started at Mayo. Yeah, I had, you can go to Hormel. I think it's, I can't remember the inspired person, but you can see. And then I had, they sent it to me. I had surgery here. When I got home, it was so heavy, and it's a really heavy gold with a plaque with my name in it with Hormel because of my story. We won, and they shown it all over the world. I was grateful for that.
Gosh, just like, thank you for sharing everything you've shared with us today, because like we said, it's just been, I'm in awe of you and your story and your smile and your share, and just so blessed to be here and very grateful to hear your story. And I'll just give the mic back to you and just see.
Oh, we have a question for the audience.
So someone out there right now, I think it'll pick up. Someone out there right now is struggling. Someone got a new diagnosis. Someone has a new challenge in front of them. What advice could you offer them?
What advice is, you had to keep moving forward. You had to keep moving forward, and you had to believe. He hears you. When you pray, He gives me the answer. And you had to take that one step forward, you know.
So one day at a time.
One day at a time, because you just never know.
Beautiful.
And I would never give up, though, because he didn't give up on me.
So we got two things. One day at a time, never give up.
Yes.
Love it. Thank you.
And make sure you are very resilient. You have to.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm very humbled. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm Chris with Elaine and Lucy, just reminding you all to stay grateful. It was beautiful. Thank you. It was wonderful.